as a fighter just puts him above. Like he just wins against Adam in the fight.
Could you phrase it in a way that like makes sense?
A way that makes sense. Like Kojiro's capability
Because
as a fighter.
the way you said it, it's like two different things
Yeah,
that don't actually like coincide. But
I
go
might have
ahead.
jumbled it up a little bit, but basically what I said is capable. Like Kojiro's capabilities as a fighter, which includes like his abilities, skills, stats, like in together. It's just like allow him to win against a fight against Adam.
All right. Next time, like, if you're thinking of a premise, try to like maybe write it out and like read it out to yourself. Because I'm really not trying to premise trap you, but so what you're saying is his capabilities as a fighter put him above Adam.
Yeah. So I just
Oh,
stated.
stated.
Yeah, I just told him like the capabilities. Just told you that.
Wait, you stated it, or was it stated in the manga? Maybe I misheard.
Oh. I
You
just
said
said
something.
Kojiro capabilities as a fighter, which includes his abilities, skills, and stats. In tandem,
Wait,
puts you above like Adam.
wait, in
Like,
tandem.
like his
Okay, so wait, that's
capabilities.
fine. So then at that point, if Kojiro ever loses like the ability to use these things in tandem, he'd be below below
Not
Adam
like
at that point.
I mean, is he
That's what
not
I mean. Well, that's
gonna
what you
attack?
said.
Hold
That's what
on,
you
is he
said.
not? Wait, is he not gonna attack? Is he his stats and skills and abilities? Like, what do you mean?
Um, well, that's not really my burden to prove. Like, you can't really ask me that because what you're
What?
saying is that because what you're saying is that he's gonna be using all of these abilities in tandem, so that
Yes,
what that
capabilities is a fighter.
hold on. What that implies is that if he can't use these abilities in tandem, he can't be above whatever. That's assuming that he's even above using them in tandem in the first place. You know what I mean?
No, because what I'm saying is right. I don't think you like really understand what I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you is that like
Yeah, okay,
Kojiro.
you're asking me if there
So
would ever
look,
be a
look, look, look,
situation.
look, look,
You're
look.
asking me if there would
I
ever be a
think
situation
I
where he
think
can't use them
hold
in
on. I
tandem.
think we're wasting time.
That's not.
I think we're wasting time. I think you're grasping at straws. What I mean is that his capabilities as a fighter, which I included the such, all these together, or like all these things that Kojiro have, right, will just allow him to do it. I don't mean he's gonna be using everything all at once
Wait,
to
but
like do it.
that's backtracking because that's what you
How's
said in the
that
recording. You
backtracking?
said he's gonna be using them in tandem to beat him. Like them being
So
used in
he's going to
tandem
have
is
them
what's gonna be
all.
used. I mean, it's in recording.
Oh my
If you don't, that's
god,
fine.
villain,
Okay, that's fine. We can
villain.
do this. We can do this. We can do this. If it's in
Okay, that's
recording,
fine.
and
I'm just
wait,
wasting time.
hold on. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to move on. So if it is in
No,
recording and you did say that, then we could just leave it as a premise trap. If you didn't say that, then we could just move on
what
and say
the
we didn't say
fuck,
that. I mean, it's a premise trap essentially.
villain? Yeah, I just told you because you
No,
misinterpreted
it's
what I'm
not a
saying.
I'm sorry.
clarification.
Who is
No,
he
it can't.
debating here? Is he debating realist or is he debating
Oh
true?
my,
What the
what?
fuck, what,
I don't know why
bro?
Trix is like talking. I don't know why Trix is talking, but it doesn't matter. If it's not a premise trap, if it is just a clarification, we could just leave that up for judgment. Again, it doesn't matter. We could just move on. Just
Okay,
relax. There's no
all
need to
right,
be so insecure. So,
all
you
right.
said like the amalgamation of his abilities would be like put him above Adam, right?
No, like everything that what Kojiro has to offer, we'll just put him above. That's simple. What's your
Yeah,
premise?
yeah, an amalgamation of it, correct? So sure.
No.
What specific? What do you
So
think
fucking weak.
amalgamation?
Amalgamation would just be like Kojiro using every single skill and everything all at once,
No,
and
that's not
all
what
that.
I meant. That's not what I meant. It's just like, yeah, that's
Okay, that's
definitely
how.
not what I
No,
meant.
no, no, no. That's how you're saying it. When you say amalgamation, I'm just assuming that he means literally everything. So that's why
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
make sense. You sound like a villain.
everything within what you said, like
Villain.
his stats and
I'm not.
abilities and
I'm
everything.
not. Bro, stop being weird. And you just say your premise.
My premise is that it's just more likely that Adam wins based on the manga.
So you're just gonna argue off of probability and not certainty. All right.
What's wrong with that?
I'm just saying. So like
No, if
anything
it
with
doesn't
the
okay,
certain.
if it doesn't matter, we can move on then. Since you're not going anywhere with it. Um,
I am. I'm literally explaining. Like you cut me
okay,
off to say I'm not going
why does it matter if it's based on probability and not certainty?
because of the fact that you can't use like certain. Never mind, bro. Let's just go because I'm not about to keep doing this.
Exactly. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So let's move on. So what abilities or stats are gonna put Kojiro above Adam?
You could go first in your scaling though.
Why?
Okay, you fine. Kojiro just use a scan against Adam. Uh, and he just knocks him. I don't know. Like,
He what? He negs
just
him?
use a scan against Kojiro because Kojiro's scan allows him to predict Adam's attacks, and regardless of his speeds, he can react to it and just like cut him in half or some shit, bro.
He uses that to predict Adam's movements.
Yeah, he just predicts how he's gonna fight.
So you're telling me that Kojiro has the ability to predict that Adam is gonna use his supernatural power to like punch him in the face or something?
Yeah.
Can you
I'm
prove
gonna get
that?
into that. All right.
Okay. Because you do realize that Scan and his predictions are
Actually,
like.
wait. How wouldn't that just
Let me
presupposes
ask.
that Adam
Let me
can
ask a
use
question.
his supernatural ability
Hold
though?
on. Let me ask a question because you do realize that that Scan and his predictions are like not connected, right? Like the
They
predictions
are
depend.
like
Wait,
inherently
let
less.
me explain. Let me explain. It's like, how do I put it? They're not being used. Okay, how do I put it? He uses Scan, but the predictions that derive from Scan are something different. You know what I mean? So like, sure, the predictions
Yeah,
are
that's
dependent
true.
on the Scan. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the predictions are dependent on the Scan, if I recall, but they're like two different things. Like he has to scan first and then predict. So even if I were to grant you the fact that he were to like scan this perfectly, you're gonna have to prove that he would predict it.
Okay, but here's the thing. Before you like interrupt me, I was kind of saying that you were like, how would you said how would Kojiro like scan or like like do anything predict like Adam's supernatural ability? Like, can you prove
Mhm.
that Adam's supernatural ability would even work? Because you said that back and you just kept cutting me off.
Well, hold on. Well, you're on the positive, so I can prove my positive claim like after yours, since you were the first one to make that claim, which is
Make
perfect.
what?
You made the claim that like he would perfectly predict. No, wait. Um, no, you said something about like he'd perfectly predict Adam,
I said that he
right? And
can
then
like
like,
predict Adam and like free like him using scanner prediction. And then you
okay,
said
yeah,
then how would hold on. He said how would he be able to like predict like Adam's supernatural ability? And I said that presupposes Adam can even use that supernatural ability.
okay. But then within your argument, that presupposes that the ability would like even work. But the thing is, if you look into the fight for
Uh-huh.
Kojiro, his try to keep up. If you look into the fight with Kojiro, his thing is more like a reactionary thing, right? So Adam would kind of like be attacking or something. It's like this weird thing where like they both have reactionary abilities where he has to like Adam has to like
Not
see
really.
the move and then copy it. And then Kojiro has to like gather information prior through scan and then try to go for like this counter, just like he did with Zeus several times. So it's kind of like
Counter?
not really worth arguing over on like who would attack first. You get what I mean?
Bro, I asked you to like prove that he would even be able to use the ability against my
Okay, that's
character. But
fine.
he
Okay,
didn't.
that's fine. But again, I'm just gonna repeat what I said earlier. I'm just gonna reiterate really quick.
Yeah, that's
For
just
that
like
to
a red
happen,
herring.
for that to happen again, even if I were to
Hold on,
grant you
no,
this
that's just like
idea,
a red herring.
hold on. Even if I were to grant you the fact that he scanned Adam perfectly, which I'm not, right? You'd have to
No,
prove that
because
he would predict.
can you
Hold
go
on,
back again?
hold on. You'd have to predict that he would like. No, how do I put it? You're gonna have to prove that the action that follows this perfect scan is gonna be enough to counter sufficiently.
Bro, villain, I don't know what you're doing with this like straw man, with this like red herring shit.
What's the
Like
straw
I'm
man? What's the
okay.
straw man?
It's like I'm saying it's more so of a red herring because we're literally not talking about that. Because you just said that like Adam would be able to use a supernatural move. It's my character and I've been asking you to prove it for longest.
That's what I'm saying. I'm willing to prove that after
What?
I'm
What do you
willing
mean
to prove
after?
that after. Hold on. I'm willing to prove that after you substantiate your argument, which presupposes that the prediction that follows the scan would work. You
The
get what I mean?
prediction poses the scan? No, because that
Okay, am
what
I am I
you're doing
speaking or is
after.
Cog just not following?
Hold
Am
on.
I
For
not
me,
following or is Cog not
hold
following? I
on.
don't get.
I think you're not following, bro. I understand what you're saying. Is that like you kind of just like attack the scan, and then when I told you like they're
I didn't
substantiate
attack the
like
scan.
what you're saying, and then
No.
you say
Okay, so
all
you're
this stuff
definitely not
around.
following.
So then it's like
Kai.
no,
Okay,
because you're
Kai,
like jumping all
Kai,
over
can
the
you
place.
explain to him, or like, can
Can
you
we
like give
stay?
some
Hold on,
clarification for the
hold
debate,
on,
please?
Dylan. Can we stay on track? Because like I feel like you're saying a bunch of stuff, right?
No.
Like
Okay,
you're not. You're
Pog,
just
Pog,
going
we're
all over the
perfectly
place.
staying on track. Pog, we're perfectly staying on track. The
No,
thing
we're
is,
not.
you're just trying to like um go back to you trying to put the burden on me about like, oh,
No,
prove this
because I
because your
did put the
argument
burden on you,
presupposes
and then you
pause,
switched
pause,
up.
pause.
Then I
Wait,
tried to go back to it, and then you
relax,
asked me another burden.
relax, Pog, just relax. Wait, we have man here. Man can like clarify. So
I don't
all
even
that's
think
happened
man's
is this.
paying attention.
All that's happened is this. All that's happened is this, right? You're saying Kojiro would use this ability on Adam, right? I said, okay, prove that the prediction would work on Adam's attacks. And now you're
No,
saying,
it's not
oh,
happening.
your argument presupposes that Adam's attacks would like work or like be effective or whatever. All I'm
No,
saying,
that's not what happened.
okay, hold on. It's in the recording, that's fine. All
Yeah,
I'm
we can
saying
go to
is,
recording right now.
wait, wait,
All
wait,
right, we
wait,
can
wait.
take it back.
All
Go
I'm
to
saying is,
rec.
all I'm saying is,
No, 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 no. We could just
in
go to
order,
rec. Because I'm not doing that shit with you.
okay, you're gonna be a pussy then. Go ahead.
Be a pussy. Either you're gonna under
Okay,
like
just
listen to my
re-clarify. Just
explanation, or we
okay,
go to
just
rec.
re-clarify your argument. Just re-clarify your
No,
argument.
this is what
Why am I
happened.
wrong?
I said, hold on. I said he uses scanner prediction to be able to predict Adam's moves, and we're not, and slice him in half. Right? You say right after, right? Right after this, you say, how is Kojiro gonna scan or whatever in a supernatural ability? And I asked you, right? That I said that presupposes that he can even use that against my character, right? And then you started going against all this attack bullshit, and I kept trying to push you back on that, but you wouldn't go back on it. So we could
Okay,
go in rec. We
it's
could
not that
address
I'm not going back on it, Paul. I said I can prove that point later after you
why do
prove that
you wait?
this.
Why do you need
Hold
to
on,
just
hold on. I'm going to
prove
explain why. I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why. I'm willing to prove that burden after you prove your point that the prediction that follows the scan would work. So please go ahead and prove it, Pog.
the prediction that would follow the scan would work?
Yes, because there's two separate
Why
things.
would I hold on? But why I put the burden on you first?
Oh my fucking god. It doesn't matter who puts the burden on who first. You made the first claim. I'm asking you to prove that claim.
You, bro. Go. We could go into rec, bro.
Okay. So you're not gonna like counter the flaw in my logic?
I'll prove it, right? In like sequence of who brought the burden placed on him first.
Why does that matter?
Because I just
Why
rather
why
go
why,
in that
why,
area.
why would
Because I
it
feel like it's
why would it
hold on,
matter on
'cause I feel like
why would it matter
I
on
feel
the
like
idea of
hold on.
who put the burden
I
first
feel
and
like
not who actually made the claim first? That's just retarded. It's much better to go chronologically on who made which claim instead of
because
when the
if
fuck
you even
the
hold
person
on,
put the
because
burden on them.
listen, imagine somebody makes a claim, right? It goes uncontested, and then something else happened, and you ask, right? Like, okay, can you prove like this other claim that you let through after something else just got put on you? That wouldn't make any sense, would it?
Hmm? You're kind of like
'Cause, like,
lagging.
if you no, because like if you don't say anything, if you don't say how would it work against Adam's attacks, and you say something completely different, right? And then afterwards you switch up. After I tell you to prove that, you switch up and ask me to
But I
prove
never
something else.
switched up. That's the thing. I never switched up.
Okay, then we could go into rec villain. I don't know what to say to you.
Well, I don't. I mean, I don't know what to say to you either. There's no point
Like
in
we
going
can
into
ask
rec.
you see, we can
All
go
I'm
into
asking
like
you,
what I
is
don't know what
just
to
a
say to
simple
you.
burden. All I'm asking you is a
You've been doing
simple
this
burden,
weird
right?
since the beginning of the debate.
Hmm?
You've been doing this weird shit since the beginning of the debate.
No, no,
So
no,
like
no,
I
no.
put a burden on you, and then you try to like, oh, before I answer this burden, can you answer this burden I failed to address way before?
No,
Okay, as
it's
interesting
not
as
that
it
I
is to
failed
hear
to
you both
address it.
ramble, can y'all just like clarify to us what you guys are currently asking for us?
W moderation.
Sure, I'll clarify real quick. So his argument, right? He's saying his character's ability would like
Okay.
okay, what he's essentially saying is like he's making the claim. I think my character would use this ability and it would work on my character, right? I said,
Okay.
okay, can you prove that that ability would like work on my character using like their ability, right? And now he's saying, oh, you're presupposing that your character like his ability would like even work. And I said, sure, I'm willing to prove that it would work after you prove this hole in your argument, right? Because in your argument, in your claim,
Okay, I heard enough.
yeah,
So, did you or did you not agree that his character has the capabilities of copying like another person's like attributes?
Huh?
who are you asking?
You villain.
Mhm. Wait,
Okay.
what was the question?
The question is, did you or did you not agree that his character can copy the capabilities of other characters?
No, I didn't agree to anything. All I agreed to, no, I didn't agree to anything. What I said,
Okay, so
as yeah,
okay,
what I
go
said
for
as
it.
a response was just like, even if I were to grant you this idea that your character can scan mine,
Okay,
go
so in
ahead and
layman's
prove.
terms, you steal man. Okay, so
Well, no, I didn't steal man.
What?
you
See what I
quite
mean?
literally by
Because
definition.
no,
Okay, moving on from this. So right now, this argument is kind of contingent on the fact if his character can copy the capabilities of others, in which this point you guys moved on from. Instead, you steel manned it in layman's terms to continue on with this argumentation, in which
well,
currently it's traveled back into this
Let
point
me
because
explain
you
what
guys
happened,
never
well, no,
right?
the
concluded
thing
on
is,
this matter.
I didn't like steal man it. If you get what I mean, I was just going
Okay,
into the hypothetical that like, even if I were to
What?
grant you, you know what I mean? It's not a steal
excuse
man.
me. What do you think of
Bro,
steel
that's
man?
thinking
No,
what?
okay, a steel man. Okay, a steel man. Just so I could like clarify to you. I don't know. You
Okay,
don't
Villain,
either.
right?
Just like
Villain,
recoding.
hold on, all right?
You
Listen, all
can't
right?
literally steal
There's a
man, bro. What you talking
consensus.
about?
Damn, can I hear villain's response?
I just wanna let me just huddle with my man real quick. All right, listen, Villain, right? I just wanna like listen. The VC has a consensus. What you said was a steel man. So even if it doesn't go by what you define as a steel man, nothing is being taken away from your statement. So why not just go with it and save us all time?
Well, because I never actually agreed that like the scan would work in the first place. You know what I mean?
That's not
Okay.
where
Look, we
steel man is.
Like,
understand what you're saying. I'm
Okay.
saying by definition, that's a steel man.
okay, that's fine. If there's no disagreement at the end of the
Steelman
day,
doesn't equate to
and
agreement.
hold on.
What?
Wait,
Where you?
so hold on.
Who yapped that?
Sway,
First of
hold
all,
on.
who
Can I
yapped?
speak real quick? So like basically I made a claim, right? Villain made a counterclaim. I asked him to prove his counterclaim. And then like he tried to back out of it and told me to prove my claim.
Okay, again, I'm not backing out of proving my claim. All I said was I'm willing to prove my claim after you made your claim because you
Yeah,
made
but
it first.
what's the point of me trying to prove my claim with you proving it? Like you trying to prove your stuff is like heavily contingent on it.
Okay,
Like, what do
the
you mean?
point of me asking you to
Because,
prove
like,
your
what
claim
am
is
I?
because if you don't
Hold on,
prove it,
villain,
it goes under Hitchin's razor.
villain. What's the point, right, of me proving my ability would work against your ability that I don't even know if you can use it?
What? Okay, that's fucking retarded because
What do you mean?
you started off your claim by presupposing that it would work.
And you'd never say that though. You counterclaim it.
Oh my god, I put your ability into question by asking would it
After
even
I
work
put
in
a
the
burden
first
on you.
place? Hold on, stop
Like
interrupting when I'm
you,
talking. All I'm saying is you made that initial claim. I said go ahead and prove that would work. That was my
no,
counterclaim. Because I hold on, I
no,
made the distinction. Wait, I made the distinction between scan and prediction, right? I said like one is dependent on the other. Even if I were to grant you this idea that scan would work, prove that the predictions would work. Because again, that's what's presupposed in your argument. And it's not even this idea of like, oh, my ability would like counter yours. That's not what I'm arguing either. So it's not like I'm stacking my ability to be like above yours. The burden that
here's
I'm
the
putting on
thing.
you is wait the
If
put
you
wait.
add,
The burden
right, if my
that I'm putting
scan
on you
ability
is
is gonna work
would it
against
would
your
it
character's ability, that's what you said.
no, that's not what I said. It would just work on my fighter.
We can go into wreck then, because you're being weird. Because this is like the exact same thing, and then this is why I say you're switching up.
You know what? That's fine. I'll just grant you that. What did you ask me to prove? Because I'll just like be
That
charitable. I'll prove my
Adam's
stuff
like
and I'll prove your stuff.
superhuman abilities or whatnot would like even be like, would he even be able to use it in the fight?
If Adam's abilities would be even be able to like be used in the fight,
Yes.
why wouldn't they be? Just asking. I'm not trying to like put the burden on you. I just like
Like,
want to know
wouldn't it
where
be?
you're at. Yeah, why wouldn't they
Because
be?
it's kind of like stated that his eyes copy divine techniques or like techniques that originate from the divine.
Wouldn't that imply that he can copy human techniques too? If he has the abilities of copying
No,
God, like godlike techniques, why not?
no, because Adam was made in the eyes of like God. So like this is
Wouldn't that
like
wouldn't that help my
narratively.
hold on?
Hold
Wouldn't
on,
that help
bro.
my point more?
No.
If he's made like a godlike figure, he just be um, like above humans,
What?
like generally.
Generally above humans?
Because
Why would he be?
if the narrative
Because it's
follows
not
this
like
idea,
it's not a skill.
hold on,
It's not a skill or
hold on,
technique though. It's an ability.
hold
It
on,
works against
Wait,
God.
well, let me explain because this is more like a narrative argument, right? You're saying that because he's born as like a god, because he has the ability to copy godlike techniques upon like seeing them at first sight, by the way, in that very same fight. You're saying because of these things, he's incapable of doing human like techniques. That's what you're saying.
I'm
But
saying
what
that his
I'm saying,
ability just wouldn't work
wait,
human
hold on,
technique.
don't interrupt. You're getting lost in the sauce. Because what I'm saying is, if the narrative follows this consistency where gods are above humans, and if we also know that humans need like balloons or whatever they're called to scale to even like
Balloons.
damage gods, yeah, balloons to even like damage gods, right? Why
Not
would we fall under this idea? Why would we fall under this idea that someone made in the image of these gods and has the ability to copy these techniques of gods isn't inherently like uh granted the capabilities of copying human like techniques? Why not?
because it's not like a copy any technique. And then it says like he could copy like divine
Why not?
techniques as well.
Why
It's
not?
more because of the fact I already said it. I said it because of the fact that he's the one who's made in the eye of like God.
Wait,
Because of the fact that he's made.
you're glitching.
I'm
So
glitching.
he can copy godlike techniques. Why can't he copy human techniques?
This is just never like shown to be like a
That's
case or
just an
whatnot.
argument from
There's no
ignorance.
evidence to like reach that conclusion.
That's an argument from ignorance. Do you have an actual argument?
What? How is that an argument for niggas? Explain.
You're saying that the lack of evidence is evidence.
What?
That your argument.
You're
What?
reaching a conclusion with no evidence. If anything, you're like,
No. That's not
what are
what
you
I said at
talking about?
all. No. I literally made the whole narrative argument, and I said that, like, based on what I said alone, it's very much implied that someone made in the image of something and someone that can copy godlike techniques, right? If we follow the narrative, they should be able to copy human techniques. Now you're saying, oh, we've never actually seen Adam copy human techniques, which again is just an argument from ignorance that would not be sufficient enough to counter my you could call it a
Okay, but
preponderance
here's the
of
thing,
evidence.
right? But no, my evidence, right? I have empirical evidence backing me up. Rather, what I'm saying against you, right,
No, you know,
is that you don't have
wait,
any
that's
real evidence.
backtracking. Wait, that's backtracking. You can't say that there's no evidence of something and use that as evidence and then say that you have
That's not what I'm
empirical.
saying. I'm saying that your evidence, right, is like assumed evidence, and there's nothing within the
How
like
is it assumed
thing to
evidence?
reach that conclusion.
Well, I
Huh?
just get okay. First of all, I referenced something within the manga, which was the narrative, and then I drew a logical conclusion from that. I don't know where you're going with this
And
empirical stuff.
we both did that. I both drew something from the manga and narrative.
No. You didn't draw anything from the manga. What you drew,
I did.
wait, hold on. What you drew was that like there's no evidence within this manga.
What? No, I drew evidence that was in the manga that's been stated within the manga to
What
back
statement?
up my
Okay,
claim.
hold on. But the thing is, the quote unquote evidence that you drew from the manga was evidence that I used for my point. So at best, you'd get away with like an equal interpretation. But even then, I think I argued my point much better, and I reached the conclusion that I wanted to reach from your quote unquote evidence. And then again, it makes much more like what I'm saying makes much more sense because even after all that, you just resorted to saying, "Oh, we've never actually seen Adam use a human like technique or whatever."
It's
Which
not
I
what I'm
have a
saying.
counter to. I have a counter to that, by the way.
It's
But
not what I'm
yeah,
saying.
okay, that's fine. Um, I'll we can leave that up for judgment, but we could just go ahead and like go under the premise that that is what you said previously, which you didn't, by the way. But I think Adam can copy human like techniques because if you think about it, and I have two reasons for this. Zeus is like jabs and shit. I think I think it's been given like this specific quantification where it's like the first one was 0.01. I'm willing to
What
be
is this
corrected on
about?
that. Actually, the someone know, like the first jab that Zeus threw and the atom copy was like 0.01.
Hold on.
I'm
What are you
mistaken.
on right now? You just go from one topic. Then you say like we're leaving it to judge. You didn't like introduce what you're talking about right now.
Wait, are you asking me what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You mean like the burden I'm trying to prove?
Like yeah. Like what are you talking about? Because you just kind
Wait,
of
wait.
go into like
That's fine. That's fine. I appreciate for like admitting you can't keep up because that helps me. So the
admitting you
thing is,
can't keep up. This is what
hold
you
on, hold
say.
on, hold on.
We'll
Wait,
leave
wait,
this
wait.
to judgment.
Don't
Hold on,
wait,
hold
wait,
on,
wait.
hold on. No, no,
You,
villain,
wait,
villain, villain.
wait, you asked me a
No, no,
question.
villain. This is
You asked
what
me
you
a
say,
question.
right? You say we'll leave this up to judgment. Okay. Zeus's jabs went from 0.1. Like you don't introduce anything. So you just it just
Okay,
sounds
I
like you're
did
just talking.
introduce. Oh my god! Right? Okay, and this is on the recording, right? You're like making me lose my patience. Prior to me saying about the whole quantification thing for Zeus's punches, I said, "Okay, Pog, I think I've won that previous point about this whole whatchamacallit, about me making the preponderance of evidence about the godlike figure, all this, all that. I said, I think I've already won that point, and you didn't actually said what you're trying to say, or whatever the fuck. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's
So
exactly what you
I said, hold on. I said, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for that previous point, and we could just go into the hypothetical that you did say what you meant to say. So now I'm going into proving why Adam can copy human-like techniques, which I don't have to, in my opinion, right? So think of it as just like some type of insurance. You know what I mean? Like I'm basically telling you that I beat you on the last point, but just in case I didn't beat you on that last point, I'm gonna go ahead and prove that earlier burden that you put on me. You get it now? Right. So, like I was saying, and I'm gonna reiterate, I have two reasons for like believing this. The first one is that like if we look at Zeus's progression of like his punches, the first punch is like a 0.01, and then it just keeps getting faster and faster. And like what Zeus is doing isn't like too far fetched from what humans can actually do, like mechanically speaking. Any human can like do a punch or like do a low kick or whatever. So I think um Zeus's eyes, they can perfectly copy human techniques because Zeus is doing human
What?
techniques effectively. It's just that they're taken up to like a godlike level. And I think Zeus, what's his face's eyes, the the specific
if they're
property
taking
that
to
they
like
have.
a
Wait, wait, wait,
godlike, hold on. If they're taking like a
wait,
godlike
wait,
level,
let me just
what is it?
finish.
Hold
Let
on,
me
what does
just
like
finish.
a godlike level mean?
A godlike level is that like they're like being pushed way beyond like human capabilities, like stat
So
wise.
then it
Like no,
just trespasses or like transcends the original technique.
uh, well,
If
not
it's like if
wait,
it's made
wait,
divine,
wait.
then it's
Not
just no
like
longer human.
okay. Don't interrupt me because I'm about to clarify.
Oh my god.
Well, what I mean is like in a technique standpoint, there's still going to be jabs at the end of the day, right? And like when we look at the technique, it's not being transcendent at all. It's just the same thing. The thing that makes it godlike is the stats part. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
part.
yeah, the stats part. He's just punching faster.
So then by that same logic, right? If that would just mean that Adam just can't do that same thing. If the stats is God like and exclusive to God.
Okay, it's not exclusive. Oh my God, it's not exclusive to
Then it's
God
not
because again, okay, you missed the point of my argument. What I'm saying is, if we look at the progression of how the fight unfolds, if the things that Zeus is doing, if it's the same technique, just being pushed faster and faster, right? What we can derive from that is that he could just copy the same things if they were slower. That's perfectly reasonable to assume. And the reason why I started off with the first quantification is just a 0.01, right? And of course, the low kick. These are things that humans can.
I literally left VC on accident.
Oh, my bad. What was the last thing you heard?
I think I don't remember. You just started your explanation. I think I
Okay.
was
Yeah. So the reason why why Zeus's techniques still have like some type of human application is because again, these punches are the same punch with like think of it like technique wise, right? Like technically it's the same punch. The thing is it's just getting faster. If what's his face
Is
is able to
Adam copy
copy
it?
if Adam is able to copy these punches that are getting faster and faster and faster, he should be
But
able to
when
copy
you say he
punches that are
copied
just
it,
slower. Hold on. Because you like just
wait,
relax
no,
for like
because you're like saying that he
just-
copies it. I'm just asking you like to prove it. So you could just say like send it like the thing.
you're asking me for proof that Adam is like copying Zeus's punches?
Like yeah, the jabs.
Okay, did you not read the fight?
Just in the panels.
There's no point in like ratting.
What ratting?
Yeah, it's
No
like
lie. I haven't read Zeus versus Adam in like a long ass time ago.
that's fine. Can someone send a proof of like Adam copying Zeus's
I
punches
want to
or
go in
send me
that
the
chat.
chapter?
I want to ask.
Nigga, you better find it yourself.
Nah, y'all are rats.
Is that really something to argue about? Like,
Oh, it's just
Pac, do you
answer.
really think that he
That's what,
never did that?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pog just he just wants to put that unnecessary burden.
Don't remember.
Well, actually,
Yes, yes.
let me ask. Pog, do you agree to Swayze as the moderator?
Bro, look, I just did for the one
Lazy?
time because there's like so many, like there's no, the debate was just stagnant. That was the only time I intervened.
Yeah,
I don't think
usually
you
like
guys,
that's
I
the
don't, I
moderator's
don't think you
job.
guys need a moderator right now. You guys seem to be doing fine a
How about
little
this?
bit.
How about this villain? You agree to me as moderator, and I ban Pog halfway through. We all just
No,
agreed
bro.
on about that.
I will not agree with
O-
man as moderator,
Okay,
especially with
yeah,
Um,
right.
Enlightened.
All
that's
right,
fine.
look,
I
you
just
guys don't need one. Just continue how you were.
well, hold on. Well, that's the thing because I feel like I do need one at this point because I feel like
What? I just asked
I'm
you.
gonna explain why.
Alright, bro.
I'm gonna explain why. Because I feel like I don't want to be in a debate where a dude is putting me like the most basic of burdens and just wasting time. Because at
It
this
seems like
point,
you. It seems like you want a voucher more than a moderator in the situation.
well, Paul, would you be fine with the voucher of
Sure.
someone vouching? Okay, Swayze, can you vouch that Adam copies his punches, bro?
Like his jabs at the
Adam,
ring. I don't
Adam
remember him
doesn't need to
copying.
copy that nigga's punches. That's correct.
Thank you. So we can move on.
You say he doesn't?
Does
Okay, so we can move on. So then if that is the case, then what I'm saying is if he can copy the progression of these punches getting faster, he should just easily copy the progression of the punches like getting slower, for example. And again, for the third time, if the first punch is like um quantified to be like a 0.01 and one of the techniques is again like a jab and then like a low kick, these are like human like techniques. So if he's able to copy them going faster, he should be able to copy them going slower. So you can copy human techniques if we like actually look at the quantifications and the logic behind them. But go ahead.
alright. So they're godly because of the speed. Guys, yada yada. Uh, I mean, sure, he can use like he could copy like a god using human techniques.
He can copy a god using human techniques.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not all I said though. Do you have do you have like any
What?
disagreements with what I said? Because now at this point, all you're doing, you're just agreeing to like a fraction of my argument. Are you gonna like refute anything in my argument, or can we just move on?
What's your whole argument?
Lord have mercy. So easy. Do I have to like clarify again? Because I said
I'm
Oh,
it like
sorry.
3 times.
Repeat the claim one more time.
Okay. My argument was that like the fourth time, if he's able to copy human level techniques that are taken to be like extremely fast, right, to the point where they're like godlike, he should be able to do it if it were like the reverse, if these techniques are getting slower. Because again, he's copying human techniques,
wait,
right?
why is it a
But the
human?
only difference, wait. He's copying human techniques, but what makes them godlike is just the stat increase, where it's like he gets so fast that like humans can't keep up. You know what I mean?
I don't know exactly what you're referring to by human technique, but I will say
Oh
like
yeah,
I don't
Why is
see
it?
human. Yeah,
Okay,
Fire
hold
is
on,
like
hold on. Let me see if I can verify though the situation. Pog, I will say like I think the idea that if you're able to react to something going 10 miles an hour, you should be able to react to something going 5 miles an hour would be a synonymous situation with this. Like, I think if it's something that's going slower than what you've been able to be deductively deduced to be able to react to, you
I
should be
get
able
that.
to like interfere with it.
yeah,
I don't
but
think I
let me.
need to explain that, but like I guess so.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
but here's
It's
the
just
part.
like
Here's the part that confuses me though, because I said all of this right, but now he's just
Okay.
reducing my argument to say like, okay, he can copy human-like techniques from a god. But what
Okay,
I'm
so you guys
saying,
just need to debate about what human-like techniques, quote unquote, would be. Like,
no, no, no,
y'all
no,
got
no. Hold
that?
on. Wait. Just listen to me real quick, because
Sure.
that's not the point. So we've already established that these are human-like techniques. It's a jab and low kicks. It's a multitude of jabs and low kicks, right? These are human techniques. He never contested it. That's
the
fine. But
jabs
the
and
issue
low
now
kicks.
is, hold on. The issue now is he's reducing my argument to say, okay, Adam can copy human-like techniques done from a god. But what I'm saying is, if we look at it logically and what's been shown, he should be able to copy these same techniques if they were done by a human as well. You know what
Okay,
I mean?
are you talking about his
So
meteor
now,
jab?
hold on.
Hold
So
on.
now,
Are you? Were you?
so now I'm also asking, okay, you're not really agreeing to the entirety of my argument. So do you have any contention with my argument? You know
Okay,
what I
are
mean?
you?
So easy. Do you follow?
I'm following.
Are you
Unfortunately, I am
talking about
following.
meteor jab and what's it called? Meteor jab and divine axe?
We're already like way past that.
What? I thought you said jabs. I'm thinking like you're talking about in the beginning of the fight. You started talking about timers, nigga. What do you mean?
Hold on. Oh my God. Pog, I
You're like
referred.
changing stuff.
Wait. Pog, no, I didn't. Pog, I referred to the
Uh,
jabs and the low kicks, and and I specifically said multiple times that these are human-like techniques. And then you partially agreed to my argument, so I'm not gonna let you backtrack and say, oh, are these actually human-like techniques or whatever? Well, we're past that
no,
point.
because
So now I'm
no,
just
because
asking
like
you. So now I'm just
because you're
asking
like
you.
arguing something different. Because I
It's the
said from the
same
beginning of the
thing.
fight, were they saying the timers, and then now you're bringing up meteor jab and divine axe.
I
You're
never
sneaking in.
brought a meteor jab, Hog. The first
Meteor
attack
jab?
that he
You're
does.
saying low kicks
Hold on.
and jabs.
Relax. Because you keep asking questions while I'm explaining. The first thing I
No,
read
bro.
in that
I'm
fight,
trying to talk to you,
Hog,
and you just keep. All right, bro.
Oh my God. Okay, okay. Is this interruption like justified? What's your question, Pog?
Because what he had initially like opened up with was the time jabs, and then now he's saying like the other jabs, like the meteor jab and divine axe, which is like switching up from what he was originally arguing.
He's saying they still have the properties of human like techniques, nigga. Like they're just quick jabs, and then quite literally a leg sweep or a leg kick, like whichever like distinction you want to give it.
Okay.
So are we done?
Yeah, then Adam is just only able to copy it because it's coming from God.
Okay,
At that point, the divine
that's
technique.
precisely my point. So Swayze, you caught what he just said, right? I went into this extensive argument on why if he's copying something faster, he should copy something like slower, right? Now he's just putting it into question. Okay,
Yeah,
he's
because
only able to
it's
do.
done by
He's
God.
wait,
You're not getting
relax,
it.
Swayze. Now he's saying, oh, he's only able to do it because it comes from a god, not because it comes from a human.
What?
You get the disconnect?
Okay. So let's transition into that point. Let's stop appealing to sways and let's argue that point. Go on. Go.
Exactly.
What's
This is what
your
he's
argument,
doing.
I
Pog?
just said,
I bro.
wait, relax. I just went into why that point is not needed. That was the whole previous point. That was the point of the previous point.
Bro,
Damn,
what?
I tried saving you, Pog, but yeah, just transition to like another argumentation. I guess you can say. What's your
Okay.
next contention?
Okay. So I think at that point, if I'm able to prove that Adam can copy like human techniques, now we can revert back to Pog's point, to Pog's like first burden of proving that like the prediction would work. Go ahead, Pog. Because remember, you put the burden on me or whatever first. I said, you know what, fuck it. I'll prove my shit first, but now you gotta prove it. Your point first. Your burden first. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on my way. I don't even think I could download this shit. Whenever I download it, just copy. But if I like reference a scan to like 100% detail, can somebody send it in for me? Because it won't let me send it in.
I don't know if you
What's
need
up? I got you.
100% detail, but like, sure, we can like get it
And
for you
I
if we
can
know.
read the scan directly off, so it's not like it's help.
Okay, seems like you're trying to convince
Yeah.
yourself here, but like, go on. What's
Wait,
this?
you need a scan? I can get it.
Yeah, his Kojiro has observed every detail of Poseidon, where he walked into the arena, where he breathed, how he blinked. He has observed the tiniest details of Poseidon's body language.
Yeah, I got you.
Just like me reading that off is good enough for you.
Wait, hold on.
That's chapter 15, by the way.
Wait, let me ask you a quick question. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad, I burped. What exactly are you trying to prove with that scan?
What? What you just
What?
asked me to prove? What do you mean? Why, like, they scan will work against like Adam?
I know. Wait, I know what I asked you, right? But do you know what you're trying to prove?
What?
I'm asking, do you know what you are trying to prove?
Bro, obviously, if I just told you what you just asked me and and just say what you just asked me to prove, I
I
obviously
didn't
know
hear
what
you.
you're trying to
Just
prove.
repeat it. Just repeat
And
it.
weird on.
Just repeat it. What are you trying to prove?
You're asking me why? Like, even if my character was able to use scan, why would his prediction be accurate?
Okay.
Yeah.
That
And
was
you're
not a
trying to.
necessary rhetorical tactic, but can we
I
just move on
sent
to the
it.
point?
I know. I was being genuine because I don't. I feel like the scan is irrelevant, but maybe he has something. Go ahead.
Okay. Actually, I'm probably gonna need other scan where he's like, I seen this one too. I seen this one again. Now I'm thinking about it.
You want me to send that for you?
Yeah.
It's a
But
little bit below
yeah.
that. This is it.
Yeah. So again, like when he uses scan against somebody, like unless you're saying like his scan wouldn't work, when he fights against his opponent, he just fights against them like thousands of times, right? And then like and to the point where like that person's move set, right? Based off of like Kojiro's actions, is just like ingrained. So like I assume like you're fine, the scan like works and whatever, but like the prediction would just follow naturally.
The prediction would. Okay, that's like a separate claim because all you've really just proven now is like, okay, the prediction is dependent on the scan.
Yeah,
You've
with the
just shown.
scanners.
Wait, hold on. I'm not done
Right.
talking, bro. I'm not done talking.
All right.
With the scan, with the first scan from the manga, all you've proven is like how scan works or whatever, and then you just went on to say that it just follows naturally.
No, it's
What
not.
do you mean? That's what you said verbatim. What
Because
did you mean
you're
by natural?
fine. Hold on, you're fine with scan working, right?
No,
No.
I said
Okay,
we're
then
going
we
under.
can
I said
just
we're going under the
scan.
wait, relax. We're going into the hypothetical that it does work because again, if I were to win this prediction argument, then scan wouldn't matter. That's why I'm doing this. So now it's just a
No,
matter of
scan is
wait, wait,
contingent.
wait, wait, wait.
Prediction
Relax,
is
relax.
contingent. Wait, bro. I
What?
swear to
Okay,
God,
what? Pause.
like,
Go ahead.
you have to talk and you just cut me off. It's just annoying.
I no, I'm not allowing you to
Oh,
talk.
you've been doing this the entire debate.
I wasn't finished talking. That's my thing. But go ahead. Say what you have to say.
All right, bro. Just finish what you have to say, bro. Because if you want to keep like
Are you serious?
fucking gaslighting me, bro.
Okay. So again,
Okay, I'm back. Where are we like bitching about now? What happened?
Oh
nothing.
my God,
So like I
Swiss.
was
Oh,
saying,
don't put it like that, bro.
All
so
is
like
like
I
allegedly
was
getting sexually harassed by villain, but I have no confirmation.
that there is no confirmation. Like I was saying, yeah, all you've proven with the scans is that one thing is dependent on the other, which I already said so. And now you're asking me if
It
if I'm
is.
already if I already steel man scan working. I told you no. We're going into the hypothetical that I steel manned it because again, if I were to win this prediction point, that the scan point wouldn't matter. That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah,
So
but the
that's
prediction is like contingent on the scan. So if I don't prove that the scan works, then I can't prove that like the prediction works. So we're just like combating each other opposites, like yin and yang. We're just chasing each other's tails.
okay. So then, what you can do now, you can drop this current prediction point and go into the scan. Is that what you want to do?
Huh? I don't want to like. What do you mean? What prediction point?
Okay. For
Yeah, we're just
fuck's
going
sake.
to scan.
For fuck's sake. You're saying that
Oh,
you
we
need
can
to
just
prove
go into
understand.
scan. We can just go into
Pog,
scan. We
pog,
can just go
pog,
into
relax,
scan. We can
pog,
just
relax,
go into scan.
pog, relax.
Let's
Pog,
go
you're getting
into
lost.
scan.
Pog, you're getting
Go
lost.
ahead.
You're
Go into
saying
scan.
that you need to prove ability 1 in order for you to have ability 2. I said sure, but if we're on the point of ability 2, then we can just drop this point and go back to it later and start referring to ability 1. That's what I asked you. Do you want to
Yeah,
do that?
I'm saying we can start on ability 1 right now.
Okay, thank you. So instead of interrupting me, just answer my question politely. So
All right.
what's I don't see any scans. Just feel like people are
Yeah,
talking.
yeah, it's already got sent. You could scroll up. It's essentially like Adam, well, not what Adam does. Kojiro does, right? Is that he views like his person's mannerisms, like what they have, how they breathe, how they like approach like everything about them, to like tell into how they would fight, right? And
Mm-hmm.
against like divine beings like Poseidon, who's like considered like a higher god or like is like a god or whatnot and strong,
Mm-hmm.
that he's able to like he's able to just see his mannerisms and like everything about him and make an accurate copy within his head and then just fight against that.
Okay.
So then like,
I want to say 2 things. So you saying that like because he's a god, he's like a higher being, that kind of helps this other previous point that I made about Adam being like created in the vision of the gods or whatever. So that's fine. I just want to put that out there. But about this, the issue that I'm having is that like sure, Poseidon can have all those traits, but the thing is, if we look at it mechanically, right, Poseidon isn't really doing anything supernatural. The only thing that's supernatural about it is that like it's his stats. Like he's moving beyond like you could say human capabilities, but it's not like he's doing anything like actually supernatural. Not like copying an opponent or whatever, or like anything supernatural on the likes of Adam, who can literally copy like his body shape to
wait, you
like
go prove that. His body shape, what?
yeah, he does a low kick on Zeus and like his leg is massive.
Can you show it?
Swayze
Bro,
can
I
vouch.
just have a regular low kick, bro. What do you mean?
Swayze or Kai, can you vouch?
I will say that he does seem to distinguish that leg kick or divine, like axe, was it called? I believe he did like give a distinction with that. So, I mean, it does seem to have like a very explicit. You know what? In layman's terms, like yeah, it does seem like different from like a normal kick, nigga. I'll say it like that.
Okay, thank
Huh?
you. Yeah, so Poseidon can't
Bro,
or
that
like
doesn't even answer the question. The question was like, does his one leg swell up?
well actually that doesn't really matter because the point that I'm actually making is that like it's that the way Adam fights is like supernatural in nature is what I'm saying. And that
Supernatural
goes
nature.
beyond and that goes beyond just like um going past human mechanics. I mean human like stats,
Like,
if that
what's
makes sense.
supernatural about it?
Adam using his eyes to copy a supernatural being instantly and countering.
Okay, so he's a counter fighter.
That's not at all what I said. What the fuck?
Well, he's a counter fighter. Like it
He
doesn't
does
really
it
matter.
naturally.
Hold on. It doesn't really matter if you're just adding all these extra things. What he does at the end of the day is just counter his opponents.
Okay,
Like
oh my god,
he gets
it's
their
not extra
opponent
things.
he gets their opponent's like attack and he like reflects it like he's
Okay,
a mirror.
that's not the point that I'm making. Sure, you can derive that off of my point, but the thing that I'm proving essentially is that Adam is a supernatural fighter if we look into the mechanics,
Okay, but what's
which is different from
supernatural
Poseidon.
about the way he fights?
Swayze, do I really have to answer that?
Oh
Because
my
like,
god, can I please just type
Oh
in chat
God,
without
damn.
not having to worry about you
Like,
niggas? What's the
bro,
claim?
you
okay,
keep
can
like,
someone? Okay, hold on.
no,
He's
bro, because
asking me.
you just
Hold
keep
on, hold on,
hopping
hold on.
on his penis,
Pog,
bro. Like,
pog,
hop
Okay,
off.
pog, relax.
okay,
Pog.
Pog. What's going on? Let me hear your take on the
But like
situation.
every 2 seconds, I ask him to approve this or what's this, and then he's like, "Oh, Sweezy, can you come and help me or some shit?" Like, bro,
I'm more so just a voucher gang. Like it's the same, like vice versa for you. Like for instance, if you want like a scan and you don't like feel like getting it, you just like, hey, Slays, like vouch, this shit happened. then I can do that for you. It's just vice
What
versa.
he's
He's just
asking,
utilizing
bro.
it more than you are.
What he's just asking, does he have to like argue against something?
Oh, does he have to argue? What the fuck, Villain? Tell me what you're arguing against. Like, what's the situation?
What?
The
So
current
weird.
thing that I'm trying stop talking. The current thing that I'm trying to prove is that the
Damn.
way Adam fights is supernatural. And I already referenced the fact that he can copy a supernatural being, which is Zeus, and copy their techniques instantly, right? So now Pog is saying, go ahead and prove that Adam is like a supernatural fighter. Because his response to what I said previously about the whole copying things instantly, he said, oh, he's just a counter fighter, right? Which, of course, I already said you can derive that from my argument, but that's not the core of my argument. That's not what I'm pushing. So now he's like again, he's asking me prove that Adam is a
It's like,
counter. Prove wait,
what?
he's saying prove it, that Adam is like a supernatural fighter, and then I'm asking you, as a vouch, do I actually have to argue that?
Yes.
But like,
If it's self-evident, crazy.
I don't think. Okay.
Yes.
I don't think that's more so self-evident, but like, it just seems like something y'all would just have to go over, like what y'all like desire to be like a quote unquote supernatural fighter. But I don't know. I think that's like really disingenuous. But hey, look, there's some things I just have
But
to leave
that's what
you
I'm
off the
saying. If
debate.
it, okay, if you just acknowledge that it's self-evident, and if it's disingenuous to say, what's the point of arguing over it, bro? If you know that he also asked me to prove that Adam is like copying Zeus's jabs, which again is self-evident and one of the most basic things within like round two. Why do you like? What's the point of?
Okay. Let's go over it like this. So, Pog, yes or no? Are these souls being manifested to fight for their reality? Yes or no?
yeah.
Okay. So, I think that's enough criteria for this. We can move on.
So
Thank
then they're all supernatural then.
Excuse me?
I'll just make everybody here supernatural that's fighting. So Kojiro would also be supernatural.
That's
Uh,
besides the point.
okay.
That's like not relevant. But the thing is, and it's in recording, but just to reiterate in like
That
one
honestly
sentence.
left me mentally stunted for a second. Okay, so is that agreement that he's a supernatural fighter by that criteria, or
Because
like what was
I
the
feel like
semantics of that?
he uses like a supernatural ability to fight in an
Ah,
ordinary
wait,
way.
wait. Can we just go back to my point? Because that's something completely different, and I don't want to like hip hop on like
Well,
different points. Because I'm on my argument.
Oh my god!
bro,
Oh, that gave me a headache. Okay, let's pivot back to like the original argument. How about that?
Okay, right. So, like I was saying, and like I was about to reiterate, if we look into like the mechanics of it, the way that Poseidon is moving isn't actually supernatural, and it's very akin to what Zeus is doing, where it's like human things, but just taken to like the extremes was like stats wise. Because what Poseidon is essentially doing, he's just stabbing people with like a trident, right? Pretty much anyone can do that, right? So, and he's just moving around really quick. Um, Meanwhile, uh, Adam, he's supernatural in the sense that like he can see one thing and then copy it and even use that same technique to like counter someone, like Zeus, for example. And it's taken so much to the extreme that he did it while time was stopped. Right? I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that's effectively what happened. That is vastly different from what Poseidon does and what Kojiro is predicting. So just because he can do this for Poseidon, that doesn't automatically mean that, like mechanically speaking, he can predict the things that Adam is gonna do.
the thing, I don't think you're understanding like what I mean is like he has a supernatural ability that's like fine, but when he fights, actually he's not fighting supernatural. It's like his like supernatural ability like allows him to do supernatural things, but when he actually fights, he's just like reactionary.
That was my point. That was my point.
Then why are you bro? This is why I hate
No, no,
fucking
no,
Mexican niggas,
no,
bro.
no,
Like
no,
I
no.
feel like
But
every
what I
time I
meant,
debate you guys want to, bro.
what I meant by that was my point is that like we just had gone over that because again, mechanically speaking,
Okay, so then like
copying a technique
just
at first. Wait. Copying a technique at first glance and then using that to counter someone, even while time has been stopped, is different from swinging a trident around. So just because you're saying, okay, he can copy someone swinging a trident around, therefore he can also copy this technique, right? Even if you say that, okay,
Right.
the result, wait, even if you say that the things that Adam is saying, that Adam is doing, right? Because if he's copying a jab and he's also doing a jab, you're saying that that is also like human-like, with like a supernatural, that like it's derived from supernatural means, right? But the thing is, these supernatural means are already embedded in the fight. Therefore, Kojiro would have to start predicting these means. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to predict this idea that Adam has the ability to copy someone, so much so to the degree where it's like a perfected version of that, or like a perfected copy, and then take it so to the extreme that he can counter someone with it, like
But
within
what
the same
does
motion,
that
which is
even
that.
matter? Hold on, what does that even matter?
Okay,
If
because
like Kojiro's like attacking first, like if the movements that Adam could possibly make in reference, because like you're saying that he has a supernatural ability, right? That allows him to do supernatural things like the time and shit. That's fine, right? He just like what Kojiro does with his scan ability is that he predicts himself fighting the fighter, and then when he does a particular like fight, he like does all the possibilities, right?
okay,
That the opponent
get
can
that.
also do and react, like in like
That's okay.
tandem.
Hold on. But the issue with that is, again, and ironically enough, this is still your first burden to prove, right? Is that you're gonna have to prove that he can predict Adam in the first place. Because if you just acknowledge that
What?
Adam has all these abilities and
I
traits,
didn't say
that
predict.
wait, hold on,
That's not what I
hold
said.
on, hold on. Let me finish explaining because you're lost in the sauce. So
You're
again,
lost in the
it just
sauce. 'Cause
reverts.
I
It
never
just goes
just
Okay,
said
back to the
predict.
first.
okay. Back to the
Bro,
debate.
get him out the teriyaki sauce. Am I right, fellas?
That's
Okay, enough
crazy.
yapping. Okay, enough yapping.
Shut that shit up, nigga.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
all
not
for
funny.
talking shit, but like you niggas can't talk shit while simultaneously being on the same track.
Bro,
Like,
bro, they just can't talk
Like
shit. It's fucking corny,
villain
nigga.
just keeps like villain keeps trying to like ego me. It's weird.
I'm genuinely not trying to ego. I'm trying to like
bro,
keep you
all
on track.
right, Bill, let's not lie now. You have been trying to ego this nigga a good couple times, but moving on from that fact,
Oh,
Okay, that's fine. I don't care. Sure, I don't care.
let's just get back to the debate.
Okay, so the current point is like, okay, so you're saying that Kojiro, like it wouldn't matter if Adam has like these supernatural abilities or whatever, without actually countering why, because now you're just saying the way that Adam's scan works is that he like he's shadow boxing the opponent in their head or whatever to predict them. But the issue is you're gonna have to predict them. You're gonna have to prove that he can predict Adam in the first place. So it just goes back to like the very first burden that I proved on you. So we just gone in a
Oh
full
my
circle.
lord. All right, dude.
So how
Now
does
I'm
he
gonna say
copy
this
Adam?
again. Okay. What?
How does he copy Adam? Because like at best I'll grant you that he copies the way Adam fucking blinks. Like I guess. Or like the way that he walks into the arena, I
Oh
guess.
my god,
The
I
way that
can't
he
this
believe.
point is insane. I won't lie.
What, bro? Who
He's talking about
said
Kojiro
anything
copying
about?
Adam. That's crazy.
Yeah, what the fuck is you talking about?
you okay,
Bro's lost.
you can say, you can like express your disbelief all you want, but that just looks
No,
worse on you.
what?
Can we just prove your burden, please, that he can
My
predict Adam?
bro, my disbelief, bro. I think what you're saying is genuine waffle, right? First off, I've never in this entire debate said Kojiro can actually copy Adam. What the fuck?
That's not,
I said this
I
entire
never said
time, right?
copy. I said predict. I'm asking you to
You
prove
You
that he
put that
can
on
verbatim
baby
predict
said
right now.
Adam.
copy. You said copy.
Put that on baby right now. You did not say copy like
No,
15 times back to
I
back.
don't. I don't.
No,
If
he
anything,
did.
I
You
was
could just
talking
say he's retracting it. He did say that though.
Oh my
Copy?
god, we're
I don't
not
think.
doing
Wait,
this.
I
Okay,
don't think I've ever
okay,
said
okay.
Kojiro
All
can
three of
copy
you
Adam.
niggas, shut the fuck
Right.
up. Okay, look, we can just go off Bryce's razor. This nigga meant it as in predict. Let's just move on. I don't want to hear about this for like the next 5 minutes,
Okay.
please.
You
So
said
not
Hitchin's
only
razor.
did I not say
That's
copy,
not
right?
Hitchens razor.
Hold on.
Greases.
Not only did I not say copy, I didn't say predict either. What I said was that he has like a fight against like Adam in his head, right? So he does an attack and then he imagines the possibilities that could go from there. And obviously like a possibility is just like Adam. Wait, how is he gonna copy? How is he copying Kojiro with no weapon?
Oh my god, bro. You see how? Okay, so easy. Did you catch that he's dodging his own burden?
Oh, days.
Because
Bye.
you're
Like, are you
saying he has a
serious?
Leave a
predict.
hoe.
about to
Okay,
come.
fine. He'll just be able to like see the possibility, right? He's just fighting
Okay,
with
prove that.
yeah. So like Kojiro sees like thousands of moves, and then like he picks the best one, and he sees like the
Okay.
reaction from
Oh,
the said fighter
that's perfectly
from
fine.
like
But
the thing.
there's two things. There's two
Okay,
things.
can he finish his point exactly before you decide just to
Oh,
give an
brother.
interjection?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Like he's saying like same shit. So like look, he essentially like predicts what the opponent does to reaction to like his move within his head, right? And then obviously like, one of these things are just gonna be like reflecting the same move, which he'll just like have a move to already counter that.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. So there's two issues with what you said, and I'm gonna refer back to like your other argument. You said that Kojiro. You said that Kojiro goes through like thousands of fights of like shadow boxing, and then he picks the best one. My issue with that is, for one, you like you're gonna have to prove that he can even like um have the capability of whatchamacallit, read a fighter that can do what Adam does. Second of all,
Already
you're gonna
addressed
have to
it.
prove. Wait, hold on. That's fine. We can upload a recording. But and second of all, you're gonna have to prove that he would come across this possibility also. Because think of it this way: if I can predict like a number of codes, right? Let's say I can predict a combination of like four numbers, and then there's like 2 million combinations of this number, right? You can't just say that, okay, because I can copy these four codes, I can I'm going to inherently copy one of these other 2 billion codes. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Because at that point you're just appealing to possibility.
Yeah,
Like
I think it's
you're gonna have to wait, hold on. You're gonna have to prove why it's like certain or either probable that um what's his face Adam is going to read into a possibility where Adam is going to like um show off like what the fuck his copying ability or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm getting tired of shit.
huh? So like you're saying that you want me to prove, right, that Kojiro would be able to predict um Adam just doing the same thing that he does?
No, it's not that basic. Oh man. Now I'll explain this slower. I'll explain this slower. So you brought up this idea that he can copy, let's say, 1,000 moves, right? But the issue is, and I gave an analogy, if I can predict a combination of four numbers, but in reality, there's like a combination of like a billion numbers, you're gonna have to prove why it's probable for me to predict a combination within those 2 billion combinations. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what Kojiro is going through, he's going through like many combinations of how the fight is going to go, right? And he's looking for like the best specific code, and then he's going to fight under that code, right? But the
Not
thing is, you're
really.
going to
Like
have
you
to
just
prove.
like
Hold on, wait. You're gonna have to prove that one, he has the capabilities of finding this code, and two, you're gonna have to prove that he would find this code in the first place, either with
I mean,
certainty or with probability.
okay, I feel like reflecting the same technique attack that you're doing is just like a simple one to go through.
Okay, but the thing is, the way you're phrasing it isn't actually what Adam is doing, though, because Adam does it by
What
supernatural
is
means.
Adam doing it though?
Wait,
So what does that matter?
okay, it does matter because, again, like we already agreed multiple times, Adam is doing it through supernatural means. So it's not as simple as, oh, it would be very common for a fighter to like copy another fighter and then use that as a counter, because that's not actually
So,
what Adam is
okay,
doing.
so
It goes
what
far
is it?
deeper than that.
What does it matter if he's doing it through supernatural or just regular means?
Okay, again, because I already explained, based on the evidence that you've shown, you've given no actual evidence for Kojiro having the capability of reading someone who's so mechanically different from Poseidon. Because I already made the distinction that the way that Poseidon works, he's effectively just swinging a spear, what's it called, a trident around. Meanwhile, Adam is using some type of like supernatural, pretty much unexplainable force from Kojiro's perspective, right? And he's doing it to such an extreme where he can counter someone who's like moving while time has stopped. And again,
So villain,
he's also wait,
we could
hold on,
just go
son.
to
He's
conclusion
also
on this one.
using and he's using it so effectively that like um he's copying the opponent's moves perfectly, and it's taking even further that like he can like counter the person as they're using that very same move that Adam is copying, right? So it's
Okay,
not just he
so
copies it and he hits, you know what I mean? It's vastly different from like what you
we
reduced
could
it to.
just go to conclusion on this point. I've said it multiple times.
Okay, sure.
Just had the same thing. We could go to conclusion on this point.
Who
Okay,
exactly
sure.
do you think is judging this? Because I hope you don't think it's me.
No, it's fine. It's
Nobody
fine.
picked a judge.
I wouldn't put any.
Ain't
We can
nobody
choose a judge
touching this
after.
shit.
I
We're
don't mind. We can
appealing to
choose a judge.
VC.
Oh, I can. That's fine. I'll
Okay,
appeal to VC, but the thing is,
because we can
I,
appeal
I
to
don't,
VC. I don't
I
think.
don't want any like, I don't want any like rat judgment. Like, please, I feel like
Hey,
a private
hey,
server,
hey,
just be
hey, hey,
genuine.
I'm gonna let you know right now, bro. If you appeal to VC and I catch you trying to debate one of us, I'm killing you.
Yeah,
For
see,
real
that's what
though.
I'm saying. Wait, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like someone could just like rat and say, "Oh, Pog won. I'm not gonna give any explanation," and I don't
Man,
want to be
bro
on
is
like
not
Unimportant.
confident. It's crazy.
He couldn't.
Well, it's not that I'm not
Yeah, I wouldn't be
confident. Like I
confident
said,
either.
hold on. Like I said prior,
Damn. Paul, you gotta
like I said,
chill, bro.
like I said
We
Look,
could
prior.
like
look.
find the
Wait, whoa,
confidence.
whoa, wait. Is this the conclusion? Are y'all concluding?
Hold on.
Yeah, we're going
Who's
to conclude
who's
on this
talking?
point.
Bro, just for the sake of the recording, Pog, do you agree to find like a judge after this?
Sure.
Thank you. We can appeal to VC just for the fun of it, I guess. But do you want
Yeah,
to
we can
conclude?
go. Yeah, we could go
Wait,
to. You
hold
can
on.
start.
No, not that I
Here's
don't like hearing you guys' voices,
on the
but I'm
point.
just saying, if this is just for fun, then
Wait,
can't we just
wait,
have like what
wait,
they're saying?
wait. Shut up, bro. They're concluding. It's what we
This is
all
a
wanted.
this
Shut
is
up.
a serious
Shut up.
this is a serious domain battle
But
between
before we
between us.
conclude, this isn't like a new argument. Are we concluding on the whole prediction thing? That's good because that's what I want to conclude on whether or not
We're
Kojiro
gonna
can actually.
conclude on the scan thing. What do you mean? You said we're gonna put that point until later. Because
Okay,
honestly, like
so this
the
is
prediction
about
point is contingent on this point. So like
okay
contingent.
that actually works better for
Like
me.
it just needs no
Want to go
reason.
first?
No, you go first.
Okay, so I'm not gonna like go over what happened in the debate. I'm just gonna go over like what's actually necessary. So he brought up the whole like prediction thing, the whole scan thing. My fault. Um, he brought up like how Kojiro can like scan the eyelashes or whatever, like the way that they walks in the ring. I was like, okay, sure, that's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, right, it's about like, okay, can he actually fathom the idea of someone who's as supernatural of a fighter as what's his face, Adam? And the reason why that's relevant is because Poseidon functions and fights in a completely different way mechanically than what Adam does. And and it's taken such to an extreme where Adam is a fighter, again, who has a specific copy ability. I'm not going to go into what's within this copy ability and why it's so different from Poseidon, who just
Okay,
swings a trident around.
not that I don't like your voice, but like I feel like we've heard this a good couple of times. I don't think we need a recap.
It's
Okay,
just
that's
a
fine.
conclusion, bro.
The real actual point, well, that part is relevant too, but the thing that follows that is that I don't think my opponent ever proved that, for one, he can even fathom that part, and that's based on the previous point. And the second part is that even if he can fathom it, right, he's gonna have to prove that he would find like that quote unquote combination within these like 1 billion combinations that I said like in my analogy. And I don't think he gave any certainty or probability for that to be the case. But go ahead, Pug. That's my conclusion.
Yeah, so my conclusion is that most of the times I had said that what Kojiro essentially does is he does attack and he predicts what his opponent might do off it. I said that a simple thing would just be reflecting it. He didn't really dismiss this at all. He just kept relying on the supernatural part because it's so supernatural, it's just so out of ordinary. When I think we also got down that Kojiro is a supernatural being as well, so it's not even he would be able to fathom a supernatural thing. So then not only that, I also said that like what would be the difference of him like doing a supernatural thing to doing like an ordinary thing, like in the response, like the process is supernatural, the outcome is ordinary. And then I said that I asked him, if it was like any type of difference, if it was supernatural or just regular, he completely ignored it because I was just trying to put that like supernatural just not really even a thing. I said that reflecting it wouldn't even like let's doing the like exact same thing and a reflection against him would just be a simple thing. He just kept like relying on the supernatural part, which I think I already dismissed multiple times. All right. I think that's basically it.
Okay, so my conclusion from this debate is that one, villain, at least now you have no right to be talking down on this nigga to the extent that you were.
Damn.
Are you for real?
Unless you were built different, like let me preface
Oh my
this.
god,
Unless
man.
you were built different from how you used to be,
He wasn't.
right now I just don't think you have
Yeah,
enough like
but
warning
like
to say, like, hey,
Swayze.
I don't think you're that
Crazy. You do realize that even Pog admitted that I have like no knowledge on this, right?
I feel like this is just like excuse.
Uh,
Just look what you did. You say, I'm like, I don't think you're gonna beat me. You're like, do you think I need anything to beat you? Like you like again, like Swayze was saying, like that's literally
Also,
looking
I'm
at
pretty sure you debated this topic before, villain.
uh,
Yeah, that doesn't mean that I